Former CEO of Guerrilla Marketing, now the Icon Builder, here with a couple real growing icons themselves. I have, of course, Jane Norris, the author of the upcoming book, The Conscious Catalyst, and we have the privilege and honor of interviewing with us Mr. Steve Jennings. Now, what you may not know about Steve is that he comes from a very unique background in a very poor Texas home, and I hope you don't mind me saying that. I mean, this is the way I've read the story, talking about trash can cuisine, which we kind of joke about now, but back then I'm sure it wasn't funny. When we talk about trash can cuisine, it's basically what it sounds like, eating food out of the trash can, which is what him and his brothers did. But believe it or not, his greatest trial actually came years later while being in Germany, driving a car in a horrendous, just terrible car wreck, left for dead really on the side of the road. I mean, as the ambulance came, the paramedics came. Steve was so bruised, battered, and bloody, they didn't even think he was alive, so they proceeded to work on the others around him. He was lucky enough to get a twitch out of him, which somebody happened to see, so again, they came over to assist him and take him to the hospital. Fast forward a few days later, Steve Jennings wakes up, a lot of bandages, a lot of broken bones, a lot of things in traction, and of course told he would never walk again. And actually it took him 13 years to defy all of the doctors, overcome all of the circumstances, and not only walk again, but then years later actually go on to become a silver medalist. That's right, a silver medalist, U.S. track and field, in the pentathlon, 5 events. Pentathlon, and 5 events. And so this is Mr. Steve Jennings. Steve, welcome. Thank you so much. There's so much about your story. There's so much about your past. I wish we could share it all. But I'm hoping you can kind of give us a nugget and a little insight into this new book you have coming out, The Way of the Invincible Warrior. And congratulations. Les Brown just wrote the foreword for you on that.
Les Brown, yes.
That's pretty impressive. Excellent. So what are people going to get out of the Invincible Warrior, The Way of the Invincible Warrior?
Well, you know, you gave a little framework about my life. But The Way of the Invincible Warrior is not just about my life of challenges. You know, growing up in the deepest dregs of poverty, eating out of trash cans, this particular event that occurred in my life, where I was paralyzed in a wheelchair. Those are a lot of things that I had challenges about. But it's also so many people I met along the way with their challenges, their incredible setbacks that they've had to overcome and achieve. And so much of this book is about truly overcoming and achieving, because people have challenges, not just physical challenges, but financial challenges in their career, their business, you know, their finances, things that they're striving for and seeking. And they need a way, they need a pathway of what it takes to truly overcome and achieve. And so, well, what it takes, well, you've got to have, you know, the drive, and you've got to have the passion, but you also need to have a pathway, a roadmap, a blueprint. And this book is a manifesto.
You got to direct that energy.
This book is more of a manifesto. It's a declaration and a statement of some key principles. And there's 8 pillars of a successful warrior, of an invincible warrior. And within this book, it helps people, you know, see that very fundamentally. Okay, this is, you know, pillar number 1. It's very foundational about how, you know, people understand, well, you must have a purpose, you must have a passion, you must have a reason, something that matters to you deeply. But it's got to be so deeply embedded within you as an invincible warrior of truly desiring it, wanting it so bad where nothing can stop you.
You're going to get there no matter what.
No matter what. You will find a way. And that's the first principle of wanting something bad enough. And that's the invincible warrior's, you know, really the true credo of never giving up and, of course, fighting for your dreams. So these are some fundamental things, but it's very powerful all throughout the book because it builds with each chapter. It builds and builds and builds.
That's awesome.
So, as I said, it's more of a blueprint, a manifesto, a pathway, a roadmap for people to say, okay, I've read books before, and they'll say, well, I've heard this, I've read an inspirational book or a self-improvement book or personal development book. I've read all these books, they say. Well, I tell you what, this particular book, it is different in the fact that it has a voice within this book. And this voice is to the point, it's tough love, it's directly, this is what you've got. I don't candy coat things. I haven't written I haven't written this book.
You're the real deal.
I haven't I haven't written this book to be in a popularity contest. It's to get a point across and to help people overcome their challenges and live their dreams.
So you're listening to Steve Jennings, and we're talking about The Way of the Invincible Warrior. If you want to find out more about it or get your copy, pre-order your copy, just go to Amazon. That's going to be the fastest, easiest way. It's also going to be in bookstores. Get it now, get it today. It's life-changing.